What's up, YouTube? It's Bianca J, and I'm back with another word. And so the title of today's word is going to be titled The Promise of Promotion, right? And so the Lord has sent me here to give you all this reminder, right? That it's not how you start, but how you finish, right? And so if you guys can see the balloons that are in the back, those balloons is congratulations. Some balloons, my daughter was promoted to her next grade level, right, to her next level. Today she went from kindergarten to first grade, right? And so that is for someone, right? You are in a season of promotion. And so the Lord was giving me revelation on his word as I was sitting here in the car, and he was saying, you know, it's not how you start, but it's how you finish, right? And so I was just thinking back and talking to the Lord about, like, Lord, we had a rough start. You know, we had a rough start. My daughter had a hard time adjusting to school when school first started. It was just a rough start, right? And so when she started, she didn't want to go. You know, it was a lot of crying. It was a lot of just fighting about school, you know, about the whole process of school, the whole process of letting go of the old, right? Because she had been at home with me, you know, she never had been to like daycare and stuff. She had been home, and so now it was time for her next level. It was time for her to go into the next phase, right? The next season of life, right? Which was her starting school. And so she was having a hard time adjusting, a hard time leaving that old thing behind, right? Like, although you have been at home with mommy, it's time for you to go to, you know, the next level in life. It's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to go forward. And so for a lot of you all, that would be you, right? You have been having a hard time with letting go of that old season, letting go of the old things, letting go of how things used to be, right? Letting go what you were familiar with, letting go of things that you have been connected to and connected with, right? And so the Lord sent me here to let you know that it is time. Like, the old things are gone, right? It is a new season. You are being promoted. You are moving to your next level. Just as it may have started, things may have started off rough, and you didn't see how the Lord was going to bring these things to pass that he had spoken over your life. And so it was such a hard start, and you was like, well, how am I going to make it? Like, am I going to get through this, right? And so that's how it was for us, right? I'm like, oh my goodness, like, how is she going to get through this? Like, all I knew was to just keep praying, keep trusting, and keep believing, because it is your faith that moves God. And so by God's grace and mercy, she moved past that phase, and she was thriving in school, right? Went above grade level, you know, just God's favor, right, over her life. And from the start that she had, you know, nobody knew how things were going to turn out, but I knew that God was faithful, right? And so it worked out in her favor, right? She performed above grade level. She can read, you know, all these things above grade level. And that was nothing but the grace of God. Like, even though it was a rough start, and for the staff and teachers at the school, they weren't believing, like, how was this thing was going to turn around. But I just kept saying, I gotta do it. Gotta do it. I just gotta keep praying, but gotta do it. And he did it, right? He did it. She strived, and she went beyond what anybody could have ever think or imagine, right? And so that is you. Just as my daughter was able to thrive and go above what people were expecting from her, that's just how you are going to do. You're going to go above anything you can think or ask or imagine, right? Because God is in the midst of it. God has called you to a thing. God has called you to promotion. God has called you to the next level. God has called you through this next door. God has leveled you up spiritually, in the spirit and in the physical. And so now, congratulations on the promotion, because you're walking in it. You're walking in it. It may have started off rough, but now you are walking in it, and that was God's favor over your life. And so the Lord just has sent me here. The Lord has sent me here today Not only to tell you that you're being promoted, but to tell you congratulations for entering into your next level, for walking into the next phase that the Lord has for you, for entering into that new season, for going above and beyond what anyone could have ever thought that you would do. Take the limits off of God, because God is saying you're getting ready to soar. This is the season where you soar. This is the season of promotion. This is the season of graduation, literally, right? And so, to whom this word is for, congratulations, you are being promoted. And get ready to soar, right? And so, you guys, this is just a quick word, and this is also the end of this word, but I wanted to make sure that I came and brought this word to you all today. And until my next video, stay focused and be blessed, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.